coverage of the National Football League. Brings us to Indianapolis, Indiana, where they fire up the crowd with the striking of the anvil, as it's time for football at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coming up, two teams ready to square off. It's the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. On the Denver sideline, you get a look at their head coach. His guys got the season started on the right foot, a home victory in the season opener. On the other sideline, the Colts head coach, Shane Steichen. His team also winners in their opener, so a couple of 1-0 teams doing battle here. Here's the veteran Will Lutz to get us going. Off we go from downtown Indianapolis. Khalil Herbert to return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Out come the Colts, and they are led by their big quarterback who's trying to find his way in the NFL. Year 3 for Anthony Richardson out of Florida. On play action, he'll set up to throw. He's going to air one out right away. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. A second down throw for Richardson. Oh, right at the outset, he lost the football. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get strip sack, and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
Not the sharpest of starts on offense. Here, an early 3rd and long. Out of a shotgun, Richardson. And he'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I think it's a smart play, especially this early in the game. I don't think you want to start forcing throws, take any unnecessary risks, allow your team to get settled in, don't have any sudden change turnovers. So I think in the end there, he made the right move.
But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. So the Broncos come out, and Greg, they are led by their QB of the future. Found their guy with the 6th quarterback selection in the 2024 draft. 2nd season now for Bo Nix.
It's not often that you can win by multiple scores in the NFL, so you got to imagine they're coming into this week's game with a lot of confidence. They were able to put together a pretty well-rounded performance in all 3 phases last week. So again, can they build off that? Can they continue to grow as an entire team? Because offense, defense, and solid contribution from their special teams, they showed last week, and going forward, this is going to be a hard team to beat.
Just a yard on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 9. There's a short one taken by Ingram. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice game to his tight end.
That's caught once again by Ingram. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll go play action with Nix. Picked off by the former Niner, Tarvarius Ward. And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22.
Well, we're getting a little test here early, Mike, to see just how easy is this team to wrap. Didn't look like they were able to get through that opening script that they had worked on all week. So I'm going to be curious on this next drive. Do they stick to the plan? Do they pick up where they left off? Or is there a little bit of a reaction, or dare I say panic, to come out and make some adjustments in response to that early interception?
The Colts offense going to take over now for the 2nd time. So, Greg, people always say when the schedule comes out in May, what do you look for? Back-to-back home games usually not something you look forward to, but it does happen in this case. And when you get a win, and you know you're going on the road week 3, and he's going to somehow manage to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. It'll be third down.
A loss of 1.
From the gun, Richardson. That'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Jones. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the goal line. Nearly a pick 6, but he does set up the offense with first and goal.
So anytime you're really sensing pass, Mike, the first thing you want to do, flood the field with defensive backs. Good things typically happen. I mean, that's a great call there by the defensive coordinator to counter that play, because no matter where that ball was going, they had someone in the neighborhood who had a shot of making the play and getting them off the field.
So now, after the interception, a sudden change situation. First and goal. Now Nick's going to look to throw, and he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Leads to second and
Got it. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Denver.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
The kick by Lutz is good. Broncos will take a 7-0 lead.
Colts, nothing.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Anthony Gould now to return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Colts offense ready to take over possession of the football. This unit hasn't been at their best early on. Punt followed by an interception on their first 2 drives. I don't think that was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain.
At the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up second down at the 29-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. They go right back to Taylor. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
He was taken down.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. 18 yards on the pickup there. First down, Indianapolis.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Off the play fake, it's Richardson. Catch made. That's Wolf. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
2-yard gain. Brings up second down at the 50-yard line.
Richardson will give it to Taylor. Taylor loses the football. And fortunately, one of his teammates there to save him. They'll wind up getting enough to pick up the first down.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll go play action. It's Richardson. And he can't get away. Football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
No gain on the play. Brings up
On second down, Richardson. In trouble, and down he goes.
It's just so hard to get anything going when you're just not confident running your own system. And all these early sacks, yes, they kill drives, but think what it does to the quarterback. The quarterback just can't be confident operating out of the pocket. There's no rhythm, there's no timing, and everything you planned on doing today coming in is out the window.
throw on the run is complete. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
The kick is perfect, right down the middle. And the Colts are on the board. It's 7-3. That's the danger. They try to sell out and block it, instead get the roughing call, and it results in a 1st down. Now a toss, running left, it's Taylor. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
He was brought down by Brandon Jones. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Broncos' 7-yard line.
On the handoff, it's Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5, and here comes 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
They'll go with the sneak. And he'll fight forward. Doesn't get a hold up, but he got what he needed. It is 1st and goal coming up.
Colts, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
Taylor is into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
The extra point is up and through. And the Colts will tie things up at 7-7 here in the opening quarter. We're all tied, 7 apiece, and the kick's away. The return starts from the 5. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. So, Greg, this offense comes on the road here in Week 2. Look, road games are so hard in the NFL, but it's nice to hit the road coming off a win at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's amazing how winning creates more winning. It kind of has an ability to kind of build on itself. It's a snowball effect. So when you're winning, you're feeling good, everything works. And all of a sudden, you start losing, and you start questioning everything about your approach. So the key in the NFL is win or lose, you're on to the next game. And it's the team's ability to start fresh every single week, regardless of the previous week's outcome. Those are the teams that find themselves in position of the playoffs down the stretch.
Open man downfield, that's Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
And the Broncos
A
first down.
big-time play for the Broncos. And even 30 yards. Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. That one caught Devon Valens. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. Now it is 1st and goal. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Pair of 7s on the scoreboard. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. The Broncos in possession of the football to begin the second quarter. A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's 1st and goal. As we are ready to get back underway. And this one blown up. Good surge and drop him. A loss on the play, back to the 9-yard line. Task a bit tougher as they face 2nd and goal. They set up the screen for Dobbins. This one could be sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
That's just bad timing by the offensive line. They've got to get their linemen out in front of him, so either the linemen need to go faster or the back just needs to be more patient.
And he's going to be taken down back at the 20-yard line. JT Tuimoloau working his way in to record the very first sack of his NFL career.
And that's a big-time play. It felt like they really needed it, Mike. That was a drive where the offense seemed to be in complete control. Anytime on the defense where you find yourself on your heels, you're giving up big plays, you're giving up fresh set of downs, you need a spark. You need something to change the momentum of the drive, and we'll see if that was it right there. So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
Here's Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense heading back for their next possession. Greg, when you look at the AFC South, there's an appreciation for what the Houston Texans have done. A couple of different quarterbacks, a couple of different head coaches. They've really been the team over the last several years that has been the team to beat in this division. And for the others, there's been moments. The question is, what pieces can they put together to try to knock Houston off the top?
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to be in a rebuild, right, Mike? Your coach got fired probably for a reason. You're drafted at the top of the draft order for a reason. Typically means things didn't go great. But if you're going to rebuild, I'll tell you, you want to do it in a division where there's a lot of wins on your schedule, and that's certainly the AFC South over the last couple years. So as bad as things feel with your Jacksonville and Tennessee, the fact that there's not a big dog in your division, your ability to find yourself climbing up the ladder is not as far as away as it might seem in the moment.
And Greg, I've heard you say a bunch of times, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. Well, both of the teams at the bottom of the division last year, Jacksonville and Tennessee, they've got #1 overall picks as their quarterbacks. One who's been around for a bit in Trevor Lawrence and one who's recently been drafted in Cam Ward. They have to be #1 overall pick performers for these teams to come challenge on top.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And with Trevor Lawrence, like, we've seen him play top-tier #1 overall, got a big new contract. I mean, we've seen him play franchise quarterback level ball. It just hasn't been frequent enough. And then, of course, in Tennessee with Cam Ward, we're not sure what it's going to look like, but we knew in college he was incredible. So if they get the Cam Ward we saw last year at Miami, if he brings that culture-changing presence on and off the field in that locker room to Tennessee, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jacksonville and Tennessee higher up that list.
Had to push through that one tackler, but he is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
Second down at the 23-yard line.
Working out of the gun, it's Nix. Going down the center of the field, open man, and it's taken in. 17 yards that time for number 17.
Yards. First down, Broncos.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Dobbins, and he's going to be stuck well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Throwing is Nix. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Nix from the gun on 3rd down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
The threat of making a poor decision and throwing a pick is always in the back of your mind, and while you can't play scared, you do have to play smart. If you can't find an open target, throw the ball away, live for the next down.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. Here's the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over once more. He'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Throwing on second down, Richardson. That's caught by the first-round pick, Tyler Ward. That long one's going to bring them first and goal. He is brought down at the 5-yard line.
It's a gain of 67 yards. And the Colts first down.
Off the zone read, this is Richardson. And he is going the wrong way. Tackled back at the 7.
Oftentimes, the more success you have as a quarterback keeping the ball, the more attention that you're going to get from the defense, and I think that's exactly the case here. They've been burned a few times by this guy already today, but this time they were ready for him.
Here's Richardson. That is caught, and he's so close to the goal line. Couldn't get that ball extended. They keep him out, and it sets up 3rd and goal. And he will drive his way into the end zone. Anthony Richardson, touchdown Indianapolis. Certain quarterbacks have a knack for that, and he finds the space to get in the end zone for the touchdown, Greg.
Yeah, just a good old-fashioned quarterback sneak. Kind of a play that's taken the league by storm. Not necessarily the tush-push like we see up in Philly, but just as effective here, Mike.
The extra point is good, and the Colts are on top. It's 14-10. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. This one taken at the 7. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
Yeah, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned 9 in a row, you think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think LA and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City, but last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. Remember, that's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be really good on the inside in defense and be able to defend the run. So there's themes across every division, and the teams that are built to compete within the division are usually the teams that find themselves in the playoffs.
Now, a second down throw for Nix. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. Big Grover Stewart in for the sack. It is a loss of 8, and now it's 3rd down.
And we've seen this time and time again. When this guy is in a groove like he is here, I mean, he's impossible to block. I mean, the offensive line, they've got to come up with a better plan to slow him down, or he's going to completely wreck this game.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll throw. It's Nix. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Zaire Franklin.
So this is where an offensive play caller needs to come to the rescue of his quarterback, because this defense, they're onto you. They've got 2 picks. They're starting to pick up on your tendencies. They're shifting guys over to counter them. Now you've got to add some wrinkles. Now you've got to throw them a curveball and try to shift back some of that advantage to your side of the ball.
The Colts offense ready to get back at it. On 1st down, it's Richardson. The pressure gets there, and down he goes.
This offense came into this drive hoping to extend their narrow lead, Mike, but instead, after 1st down, they find themselves in 2nd and forever following that big sack right out of the gate.
Throwing, Richardson. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Texas.
And these are the types of plays they envisioned when they invested a 1st-round pick in this defensive back just a few months ago. I mean, he's entered the league, Mike, with a reputation for having almost offensive wide receiver type ball skills. And those ball skills were certainly on full display that time.
The Broncos offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll start with a golden opportunity here to move out in front. Great field position to start out. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Nix. He'll be forced outright. He's going to run it.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his 1st and 2nd read, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4. Now the Broncos going to use the first of their timeouts. Clock will stop with 34 seconds to go until the break. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. 2nd and 7.
A 2-yard gain brings up
Throwing, Nix. He pulls it in around the 5. And this drive's going to continue. He's taken down, but they are set up with 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Back to throw is Nix. That's hauled in at the 2. And he'll take it on in. Portland Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year.
You hear coaches, you hear commentators, everybody talks about that middle 4, Mike, the final 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter and the first 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Here they are now. They go down and they steal a late touchdown to end the half. Remember, they're going to get the ball first coming out of the break.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos move out to a 3-point edge, 17-14. Halftime coming close, and not much time left as this one is kicked away. And he will sit on it here in the end zone for a touchback.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Richardson to throw it here on 1st down. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Nick Bonito, what a half he's putting together. 4 sacks now in the ballgame. Halftime coming up. And we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hansen with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. This has been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up and put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the third quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you. This one still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand as our second half is about to get underway. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting ready to go back to work. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now they're trying to keep it going. Left side, that's complete. It's Sutton. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Brings up second down at the 26-yard line.
Second down, Nix. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force third down.
And 7 yards to go.
Here's Nix to throw. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up fourth down. The Broncos bringing out their punter as he's on to punt for the second time. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Colts offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with first and 10. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up fourth down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
The Broncos offense getting set to get back to work. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a first and 10. To throw is Nix. He connects with Mims. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's now second and 6.
On second down, it's Nix. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
They'll give it to Dobbins. Hey, he's going to be close. Going to depend on the spot, but it looks a little short. It is short, and now it's fourth down.
So it's a pretty manageable third down, so they really have the option to run or pass, so they decide to keep the ball on the ground, which I don't mind as long as you've made the decision already that you're willing to use fourth down to pick up the rest of the yards. If not, I think that's a big mistake.
This is taken at the 25. And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. The Colts offense ready to come back out for this next possession. Off the play fake, it's Richardson. Off he goes. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Broncos say they have it, and yes, they do. Well, he certainly turned that into something on the move. Downfield, looked like he was gaining yards, but then loses control, and the defense comes up with a turnover.
Early on, Mike, it looked like it was going to be a really good play by the quarterback, turning to his legs, getting some pretty good yardage with his feet, but then he failed to not only protect himself, but mostly protect the ball. Defense is able to put a hit on him, jar the ball loose, and now they'll take over after the big takeaway.
Here's Dobbins, and he'll get it back to midfield. That's it. No gain on the play. We'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
A run with Dobbins. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Now Nick's going to look to throw. They'll look to set up the screen here. And that one just too long to get going. They'll come up, stop him before the lineman could get out to lead the way.
You know, it's always hard as an offense to waste such great field position, but they had a short field to work with, not able to pick up a single 1st down. So give a lot of credit for the defense stopping this drive before it really got started.
And not the greatest of results here. This is going to hit the field of play and continue out of bounds. The Colts offense about ready to take over once more. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. On 1st down, they'll start with Taylor. And the struggles continue. He's dropped behind the line again.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down. That's exactly.
And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Jonathan Cooper in there to bring him down. And that's his 1st sack of the year.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him.
This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. DJ Jones, he's in for the sack, and it will lead to 4th and very long.
And now you need 2 hands to count how many sacks they've recorded in this one, Mike. I mean, they have been relentless throughout the game, and they get another big stop here.
The Colts about to kick this one away, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. Perhaps he didn't get all of it. Their catch is taken right around midfield. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They'll have a short field, looking to build on the lead. On the ground, here's Dobbins. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stick with him again. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up 3rd down.
A gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
They'll try to sneak it here. Trying to find any seam he can, but the push too strong in the middle. He didn't get there. It's 4th down.
No gain on a quarterback sneak? That's pretty surprising, Mike, anytime we see that happen. There just aren't many plays in the NFL that we consider to be automatic. The quarterback sneak is normally pretty close.
And that one doinks off the upright and in. Fortunate break, but the kick is good. And the Broncos will extend their 3rd quarter lead. Khalil Herbert on the return. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over once more. The deficit, 6 points. A touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun, Richardson. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, Richardson. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Jonathan Cooper gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
You can tell that all these hits, Mike, they're starting to add up. He just doesn't look comfortable. His eyes aren't downfield. You can see his feet aren't settled. When you get sacked this many times in a game, it's kind of hard to blame him. But
this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
These pass rushers, they love these situations where they can just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. They knew they had a chance to put an end to this drive, and they didn't let it go to waste.
The Colts about set to punt, as he'll take this a yard or 2 into his own end zone. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Broncos offense ready to get back at it. They'll start with great field position right at midfield with a 1st down. Handoff here, up the middle. Good physical run. It'll wind up as a gain of 5. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 5. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Got it into the hands of Mims. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Here's 1st and 10.
And the Broncos 1st down.
On the toss, they'll run. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
We got to see a little taste of just the range this defense can play with. How well they can flow outside as this play gets stretched out. No problem for them not only to track the runner down, but stop him before he gets back to the line.
Working out of the gun, it's Nix. Now he takes off.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good game.
He finds Mims. It's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's taken down on what is the final play of this 3rd quarter. Good physical run, motoring forward for 9.
He was brought down at the 4-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Play action now. It's Nix. That one is caught in the back of the end zone. Portland Sutton. Touchdown, Denver. That is 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
And he will get into the end zone and extend the lead by 2 more.
Broncos 28, Colts 14.
Not a real complicated breakdown needed here, Mike. In short yardage situations like that, if you have confidence in both your back and your offensive line, sometimes it's the simplest plays that have the best results.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Richardson. On the move left. Now he'll run it. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. They'll have a first down. It's a gain of 28.
That's good for a Colts. First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Richardson will give it to Taylor. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
Brings up second.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. On play action, Richardson. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. It is 3rd and long.
Makes it 3rd down and 12.
Out of shotgun, Richardson. He'll try to run for it. He is dangerous when a play breaks down. A pickup of 18.
It's a gain of 18. And the Colts first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
The defensive line has to do a better job of contain rushing, especially on 3rd down, Mike. You can't rush one-on-one. You have to rush as a unit. Keep the quarterback in the pocket, and when you let him get loose, this is what's going to happen.
2nd and 10.
Pierce, incomplete.
Looking to throw. Richardson. The 2nd down throw is incomplete. So after back-to-back incompletions, it is now 3rd
Brings up
and 10.
3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now Richardson. He'll try and get there on the ground.
Anthony Richardson on the scramble.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn it to a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
His kick will split the uprights. It's good. And the Colts are able to put up 3 and cut into the lead.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. Drive will start on the ground, and he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. They'll get 11 there, and that's a quick 1st down.
A gain of 11.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain. Now it's Dobbins, and this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. Next, from the gun, on 3rd down. And he looks to be a bit short of the line. And that is going to bring up 4th down.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
So that one's going to land out of bounds, and the official's going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. The Colts offense ready for this next possession. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. And a hard-earned yard as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Made at the 21-yard line. 1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing is Richardson. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down. Short one, and it's caught by Warren. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker. On fourth down, out comes the punter, as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line. The Broncos offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll begin here on the ground. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a first down.
First down, Denver.
To him on first down. Wow, he can certainly be elusive with the football and the feet. Great spin forward. Give him 6 yards on that one.
It's a pickup of 6.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 4. He'll give it to Dobbins. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Here's a third down and 4.
And it's third down.
Throwing is Nix. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. A gain of 17 yards. Good for a Denver first down.
And a Broncos first down.
Up the middle they go. Just refusing to go down. He winds up with a gain of 7.
At the 14-yard line. Brings up second down.
Here's Dobbins. And he will have the first down. Not a huge run, but enough to move the chains.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
He is met and dropped. Couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Taken down.
So these situations, Mike, are always very tricky for a play caller. Of course you want to keep the clock moving. You're just trying to run the game out and maintain this lead, but you also don't want to become overly predictable. So with the defense just selling out to stop the run, I think they have to mix in a few high completion percentage passes to just at least keep them off balance.
You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. And he can't get away. Down he goes, back to 16. And we'll see a timeout used by the defense, stopping it right out of the break. A minute 57 to go in the game.
For the Broncos field goal. A 33-yard attempt.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Broncos will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter. So following the field goal, Lutz is back out to kick it away. Herbert on the return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Colts offense ready to take over once more. Here is first and 10. They'll drop to throw. A throw on the move is caught. We'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
A gain of 4. second down.
Throwing on second down, Richardson. And he'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down.
Gain on the play. That's good for a Colts.
Richardson, and he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
By Nick Bonito. A loss of 7 yards brings up second down.
Second down throw for Richardson. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force third down. And for a third time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Surtain. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Frankly, Mike, a disaster, and I don't know how else to classify it. I mean, that's now 5 turnovers, 3 coming through the air. You're just not going to win games at this level playing and giving the ball away.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So it is a win for the visiting Broncos. They get the victory here, away from home, to run their early season record to 2-0. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.